and the questions were already submitted. I already sent out a call for the questions, so I'm reading on my screen, and I'm going to answer the questions. Those of you that want to listen in, feel free to do that. I enjoy talking about all the things that you should have learned in school about Black wealth. Money matters. Having money makes a difference in your life, and I hope you agree with me when I make that assessment. So I'm going to say the name of those of you who submitted your Black wealth questions, and also I'm going to chop everything up, and I will answer your question directly and put it into the Black Business School, where you can go to Ask Dr. Boyce and find your answer with your name on it. So Kojo, Kodjo. Okay, so your question is, hey, Dr. Boyce, my question is, what's the difference between a swing trade and an options trade? Kojo, a swing trade is basically something that is day trader terminology that is different from an options trade. An options trade is when you're buying or selling a stock option. So that's the difference. And there you go. Okay, so the next question is from let me see here. Hold on. Crap, I'm hitting the wrong button. Is from Javard. So Javard is asking, I inherited $900,000 in an annuity. I received monthly payments for 16 years from that. I was wondering, would it be wise just to continue to receive the monthly payments, or should I cash it out? If I do cash it out, I want to get the entire value of the annuity, probably half, or will I get the? Well, okay. First of all, what would happen here is, the equation that would be used to decide how much of your annuity you will or won't receive is what they call the time value of money equation. So a $900,000 annuity that says, okay, it's worth $900,000 right now, means that if you're spreading out over 16 payments or 16 years of payments, the total payments is going to add up to more than 900,000, right? Now, if it's 900,000 total, then whatever people offer you now would be less than 900,000. So the answer to that question really is, it depends. But I would probably consult with an actuary, go to a bank and ask for an actuary or someone that can actually help you get an adequate price for that annuity. Because if you're not careful, there are companies that will take advantage of people and basically buy their annuities cheap because they really need the money. And so that's what they call, in economics, we call that the impatience parameter. If your impatience is high, meaning that you really need the money right now, then you might be duped into taking a bad deal to get your money. So what they're going to offer you, it really depends on the details that I don't have. But I would definitely say I would consult with an actuary or somebody who's unbiased, who can give you a second, third, and fourth opinion on whether or not you're getting the right price for that. Also, whether or not you choose to get the lump sum or not really comes down to what you're going to do with the money. I mean, if you're going to take the money and spend it, then maybe that's not the best route. But if you have a business, or you want to put that money in the stock market or something like that, then that might make sense. I'm not telling you what to do. This is not investment advice, but that's what I'm seeing based on what I'm hearing from this from you. Okay, so the next question. Let me delete that one here. Okay, being delete. Okay, the next question is from David. Okay, so David says, I'm just starting. I haven't the foggiest idea what to do. I didn't know this was the procedure. I'm on board. However, I'm totally lost. Might need training wheels for a minute. Where to start? Okay, well, the first thing is don't feel bad about starting from the beginning. It's okay. We all start from the beginning. I started from the beginning. There was a time where I didn't know anything about any of this. And so a good place to start, David, might be if you go to firstshareofstock.com. That's firstshareofstock.com. I actually have a free training on how to buy your first share of stock. But then also, and it's free. Anybody that's listening, even if you're not in the Black Stock Market Program, you can get it for free. But the next step is, if you go into the blackstockmarketprogram.com, there are a lot of basic videos there. And what I would encourage you to do is just go through the content. I mean, there's so much there. I mean, there's literally enough there to keep you busy for the rest of your life. And that's because I want to over deliver. I want to make sure we cover as many bases as possible. I've been having consistent financial conversations with Black people for many, many years, and I focus specifically on a Black perspective. So I'm not some white guy that's going to tell you a bunch of stuff that doesn't make sense. I'm going to tell you things that actually relate to the specific economic conditions of the Black community. So just log in at theblackstockmarketprogram.com. And those of you who are not in there yet, the first month is free, so feel free to give it a try and just start watching videos. And over time, what's going to happen is it's going to start making more and more sense. And then also you'll find a basic investing strategy that'll get you moving forward. Another great resource that you can pick up that can kind of help you begin is I have something I put together called the $5 a day investing plan. And the $5 a day investing plan, I think, is a great way to kind of help you invest without overthinking the process, because a lot of people will overthink it and they'll never do anything, which is the worst mistake you can ever make. It's like you're not sure how to take your medication, or whether you should put your pill in your mouth with the right hand or the left hand, so you don't take your medicine at all and then you die. Well, I don't want you to financially die. Most Black people, just so you know, the median Black person in America is going to economically die in the next 30 years. 2053 is the ticking time bomb, where they said Black wealth for the median Black person in America is going to be zero. So what that means when they say it's going to be zero is they're saying that half of you will be on one side, half of you will be on the other. The question you must ask is, which half is my family going to be on? And I want you to answer that in the chat. Are you going to be on the negative side, or are you going to be on the positive side? So there literally is a dividing line appearing in the Black community. So if you go to the allblackagenda.com, again, resources on there are cheap or free. Almost everything there is free. The allblackagenda.com has a link to my $5 a day investing plan, which is a great way for you to get started investing and to invest very small amounts of money consistently and to build an extensive amount of wealth. So that might be a good place for you to begin. All right. So next question. Let me see here. Let me delete this question from this brother. These are all questions that were submitted in advance. So if you want me to answer your question specifically and directly, just sign up at theblackstockmarketprogram.com, and there's a section called Ask Dr. Boyce, and you can submit questions. And I'm reading the questions that were submitted. There's so many in here. There's like 23 of your questions. So I'm literally going to go through all 23 as quick as I can and make sure I give you a thorough answer. The next question is from Lawrence Jenkins. Lawrence says, opinion on Jumia. Is it overpriced at this point? I was thinking about opening a position. Let me just say this. I'm not telling anybody what to do, but I will say I love Jumia. I love Jumia stock. I'm an investor. I'm long-term. I'm in it. I buy more and more. Somebody asked me this. So Dr. Boyce, what do you do when the stock market goes up? I said, I buy more stock. Well, Dr. Boyce, well, what do you do when the market goes down? I buy more stock. My actions don't really change that much based on temporary market conditions. I'm pretty consistent. My goal in life, and I tell my kids this, is that if you want to be successful, you got to be consistent. You got to be sturdy. You can't whiffle waffle based on which way the wind is blowing. So I don't do that stuff. I don't do that. I don't go with the wind. I move from within, right? That rhymed. That was kind of cool. I'm dropping bars today. So Jumia is a company that operates in Africa. They are German owned. They are considered to be, in the eyes of many, the Amazon of Africa, which is a scary thing given that they're owned by Germans. But I did buy stock in the company. I started buying the stock when it was like maybe 20. It's now about 65, which has made me and Alicia very happy. And also, I originally, my attention was thrust onto the stock because the premium on the stock options was pretty high. So I believe in Jumia. So I can't predict what's going to happen with Jumia stock. I'm not here to do that. I don't make predictions like that because no one really can. But if it goes down, then you and I will be going down together. So if you want to know more about what I was talking about, the stock options, the stockoptionsmasterclass.com is a place where you can go. I have a whole masterclass there, and feel free to go take a look if that's something that you're interested in. And as you know, I don't teach stuff like everybody else. I kind of, having a PhD gives you some superpowers that most people can't really match. So next question, let me delete this. Let me get Mr. Jenkins out of here. Lawrence is my brother's name, by the way. That's a great name. Okay. So the next question is from Lewis Barron. And Lewis would like to know, Dr. Watkins, I know you said real estate is one of the pillars of wealth. I would like to invest and build a portfolio, but don't know where to start. Should I go with the Black REI group? Is that a great place to start, or real estate license, or both? Well, actually, I'd say any of those can work. The Black REI group, that's the real estate investing group that's in the Black Business School, is run by Julian Gordon. They're doing really, really good things. They're actually investing in all kinds of stuff. They're buying a big chunk of Baton Rouge, actually. A lot of people, it doesn't get as much publicity as some of the other things that we've seen in the community, but Julian is doing a great job, and he's a really solid guy. And I'll give you the URL for the Black REI group. It's the blackreigroup.com. And so that's a place you can go. You can feel free to go take a look at that. Also, there is a real estate, a group for people that want to be real estate agents and things like that. And that's actually a masterclass that's hosted by sister. I don't have her name in front of me. Stephanie Berry. Stephanie Berry is her name. And she has a bunch of real estate agents. They got together and did a masterclass on how to become a real estate agent. And so I'm going to put that URL on the screen too. And that's realestateagentmasterclass.com. So those might be two things you could look at. In general, I think that if you want to get started with real estate, I'm a believer. I think it's good. I think home ownership is a good thing. I know people like Grant Cardone kind of think it's lame. And I can understand why he would have an issue with it, because buying a home, it's not an income generating property, right? There are ways you can buy assets that will give you capital gains and income. But then again, capital gains is better than nothing at all. I think capital gains is better than renting. But I get their point when they're saying that it might be better to go ahead and put your money in places where you can get income and capital gains, which is actually one of the reasons why I like things like selling stock options, because I get the capital gains on the stock and I can get income from selling the options every day. I do it, then my son does it. That's kind of the thing that actually I think you may want to look into. And so if you're not sure about stock options, I have a whole masterclass there. Feel free to go take a look. It's stockoptionsmasterclass.com. All right, so let me move to the next question. Let me delete Lewis here. Okay, next question. These are questions that were submitted in advance, so I've got a bunch of these here, so this is what I'm looking at. The next question is from Kevin Epps. Okay, so Mr. Epps, Kevin Epps. Makes me think about Mike Epps. I met Mike Epps actually in November. Willie D from the Ghetto Boys had an event, and Mike Epps was there. Okay, I'm in your Lifetime Access Black Wealth Bootcamp program, and I wanted to know if we are able to take part in the Life's a Pitch program. If so, do you have any idea of when the next one would be? Okay, Life's a Pitch. First of all, let me explain what the Black Wealth Bootcamp is. The Black Wealth Bootcamp is something we meet every Thursday night. And basically, the whole goal is I expose you consistently, you and your family consistently, to all the different ways there are to make money. And it's a great program because you get access to years of content from the past. So I actually stuck going all the way back to 2015, 2016. You can send me questions, like some of the questions came from bootcamp students also, and I answer every single question from every single student, every single one. But then also you have lifetime membership. So that means that anytime a boot camp is ever offered at any point ever, you and your loved ones can come to that boot camp too, and you can watch the recordings of every boot camp. So for example, last week we did something with Lamar Tyler. Lamar Tyler came in, he was our guest, and Lamar's made millions of dollars online. So Lamar talked about how he makes money online. Before that, there was Julian Gordon, who's made millions of dollars in real estate. We talked about real estate. We've also talked about, we're going to do actually one on cryptocurrency. I'm going to bring the gentleman of crypto in, and we're going to talk about what's going on with cryptocurrency. And so the goal is really, and of course, we're going to cover stock market investing, right? So the goal of the Black Wealth Bootcamp is to say, I want you to be a money-making machine. I want your family to just be expert money makers. I want your kids to know as much about making money as they know about singing, dancing, rapping, and whatever is throwing footballs, dribbling basketballs, all this other stuff. I want our kids to just know every single way that there is to make money. Because one of the things you don't know about making money is that the people that make the most money in America are the people who work the least. The people who don't work are the ones who make the most money. The people who do the work are actually transferring wealth to the people who don't do the work. So don't put yourself in that category. A lot of you were probably raised to go get a job and to trade time for money. That's a terrible trade-off because your time is of infinite value. What price tag do you put on spending 10,000 hours with your children? right? You can't put a price on that, right? But you do, right? You do. You sell it, right? You sell that time because that's all you have. I encourage you to think bigger than that. Get to the point where you climb that ladder of economic strength, and that comes through training. The average millionaire spends 20 to 30 hours a month studying how to make money. The average millionaire spends 20 to 30 hours a month. The average person spends 2 hours a month, if you're lucky, 2 to 3 hours a month. So compare 2 to 3 hours a month of practicing something versus 30 hours a month. Well, who's going to be better at it? Who's going to be better at finding the money? The person who's studying how to find the money. So there you go. So that's what the Black Wealth Bootcamp does. Life's a Pitch is something we do on financialjuneteenth.tv.com, which is a YouTube channel. You feel free to subscribe. And what we do is we bring in Black-owned businesses, and we have a pitch competition, and we let the businesses pitch, and we give them feedback on their pitch. And we also encourage the audience to support the Black-owned businesses. So what we do is we send out email whenever we need new pitches. We'll send out an email about once a month and say, hey, if you want to submit your pitch, everybody sends a 90-second pitch. And if you want to submit your pitch, you hit this link and you submit your pitch on video, and we play the pitch. So if you want to be on the email, in order to let it be notified whenever we're looking for people to pitch, feel free to get on our email list. The way to get on the email list, and you get a free e-copy of my book, is to go to allblackeconomics.com. So there's a URL. I'll put that on the screen. So if you sign up on the list at allblackeconomics.com, you will be notified when we're looking for new people to make a pitch. Okay, so that settles Mr. Kevin. So let me make a note here. I want to make sure Kevin gets his answer. I chop these into little videos so that every person gets their answer individually. So let me delete and move on past Kevin. Okay, thank you. Excellent question, Kevin. Next question is from Janice Glass, Janese. Okay, so Miss Glass would like to know the following. She says, Dr. Boyce, I missed the February 4th class in the Black Business Workshop. Is there a way I can replay the class or any of the classes? Yes, Janice. In the Black Wealth Bootcamp, you can actually get all the recordings. Just log in at blackwealthbootcamp.com. Every single thing we do is recorded because I want to make sure you have it for the rest of your life so that you and your kids and your cousin them can all go in there and get a chance to take in a dose of this financial magic, because I know what I'm talking about and I know I can change your life. I'm completely confident that I can do that because that is my superpower. Raymond, or Mr. Raymond Smith, has a question. Raymond's question is, what is a good starting point when deciding percentages of income that go into savings, mutual funds, and buying and selling stock on your own? Is it 10-10-10? Should the amount be going into a mutual fund and the amount going toward me learning stock investing be the same every 2 weeks? The amount going into the fund and the amount toward learning. Okay. Okay, let's see. So savings, mutual funds, and buying, selling stock. Well, mutual funds, I mean, when you buy mutual funds, you're buying stock, right? Because all a mutual fund is a collection of a bunch of stocks. Mutual funds are great because they're really good for people that don't want to sit and obsess over what any one individual stock did. It's for people that want to basically what they call set it and forget it. So if you're a set it and forget it kind of person, then you might want to just do mutual funds and just have an automatic amount of money go into the fund every week. If you do that consistently, time says that you're going to be wealthy. It's, give it 20 years, 10 to 20 years, you're going to have more money than most people. I don't care what your income is. That's what the $5 a day investing plan shows you. Is it shows you mathematical magic that is not believable to people who don't understand mathematics. But I know mathematics. My master's is in math and mathematical statistics. I taught math at the University of Kentucky, and I can tell you that this math is accurate. And basically, what happens with compound interest is it's a very sneaky thing. You're engaged in this really slick accumulation process that almost surprises you when you see how much wealth can actually be accumulated through consistent investing. It's almost like when you have a newborn baby. Has anybody ever seen a newborn baby, and the baby is so small that in your mind, you can't even imagine that baby growing up into a grown man? And then literally 20 years later, your son walks in, he's got a beard and a deep voice, and he's, and he's got a girlfriend, and you're like, how did this happen? Like you were a little baby last week. Well, that's how money is. Money's like that little baby. Money grows literally. And this is not me being cute with this analogy. The equations that we use to calculate how money grows, did you know those equations actually come from biology? Those are biology equations that determine how plants grow, how an animal grows. Literally, like literally the same equations that biologists use to predict how much a tree will grow after a certain amount of time, it can be derived directly and connected to the equations we use to describe how your wealth grows. So, but the key is if you don't plant the damn seed, then you won't have a harvest. If you don't plant the seed for the baby, if the baby's never born, then the baby can't grow. So y'all need to make the baby grow. You need to plant the seed. You need to think about your future. If you don't plant a seed, then you have no harvest. Game over for you, game over for your kids. Do not do that. Do not be stupid like so many other people out here who don't even plant a seed. So to answer your question specifically, Raymond, I'm going to just tell you this. 10-10-10 is fine. I don't care what your rule is. You know, it's like Wade Houston. Wade Houston was this great basketball coach who used to coach at the University of Louisville. And I remember Wade Houston was talking about, they were like, so Wade, which is better, to run this kind of offense or that kind of offense? Wade said something really smart. Wade said, it really doesn't matter which offense you pick as long as you run it precisely, as long as you run it well. He said, you know, if you run this offense or that offense, who cares? If you run it badly, then bad things are going to happen. If you run it well, you're going to be fine. So whether you do 10-10-10 or 5-5-5 or 5-10-5 or 5-40-20, that's not the issue. The issue is, are you going to pick a number and be consistent so you can at least plant those seeds and let those seeds grow, right? So a lot of people, you know, so I don't even know if I would even necessarily feel the need to distinguish between saving and investing and mutual funds. Investing in stocks and mutual funds are kind of the same thing. So you can actually lump that in the same category. Saving is connected to investing. The difference is that when you save, your money is sitting still. It's not growing. When you're investing, your money's moving. Your money's working for you. I don't keep a lot of money in my savings account because my stock market assets are very liquid. I can hit a phone. I can pull out my phone and get on an app and literally have cash in my bank account tomorrow, right? So I wouldn't get so caught up in stocks versus savings. The only thing about stocks, though, is that stocks can have volatility. So you want to be really careful. Make sure you spread your money out. And so it may not always be the right time for you to sell. So that might be an argument to keep at least a little bit of cash on hand, but for emergencies, stuff like that. And by the way, I don't know if you guys know, I actually have a Twitch account. If you're young and you like Twitch, I heard that like all the teenagers and stuff like Twitch, and my God, our young people need to learn how to invest. So I created a Twitch account, and I happen to be a gamer. I happen to play Call of Duty. So I actually play video games on my Twitch account and talk about stocks and stuff like that. So if you want to follow me, you can go to drboycetwitch.com. That's the URL. Or my Twitch tag is Bo Watkin, BOWATKIN. So follow me on Twitch. So I have some friends on there. All right. So next question. Let me see here. Okay. So the next question, let me move on past my friend Raymond. The next question is from, and by the way, these are questions that were submitted in advance. That's why I can't answer questions in the chat because I'm trying to look at these. All right, so Rajini McCrae, that's an interesting name, Rajini. I'm gonna write this down because I'm gonna send this video right back to you, Rajini. McCrae. Hello, Dr. Boyce. Thank you for all you do. Please share your thoughts on having an LLC for a minor in New York City. Should I have it in our daughter's name with us as her guardian or in our name? You can put an LLC in your child's name, maybe as a vanity sort of thing. So the child actually, because here's the thing, when you put your kids in a space where they're making money and they're doing business, it makes them feel good. It does something special for their self-esteem. It's not about the money. Who cares about the money? The kid is 12. What does a 12-year-old need with a lot of money? It's really about giving your child wealth up here, psychological wealth, emotional wealth, spiritual wealth. When you get a 12-year-old and you show a 12-year-old how to make money as like a grown-up, like where I have kids in our Black Millionaires of Tomorrow program that literally made $60,000 this month. Like one mother told me her son made $60,000 in the stock market. That does something to your brain. That does something to your brain. That exposes your child to a lifestyle and a reality that can't be matched by just getting a job working for some white man somewhere. They're not trying to do that now. Now they're trying to be the boss. Now they're trying to own companies. Now they're trying to own assets. Now they're trying to buy real estate. That's what your kids will be doing. So I would say to you, sure, if you want to get the LLC in your child's name, that's fine. You're the guardian. You know about all that. But when it comes to actually having your child in control of assets, I'm not a big fan of that because kids are stupid. They just, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not, that probably sounds mean the way I said it, but my kids love them, but sometimes they're stupid. When I was a kid, I was stupid compared to being an adult. Your brain isn't even halfway formed. I mean, who can operate with two-thirds of a brain anyway, right? So when you give your child access or control of a lot of money, they're going to be tempted. Their ability to delay gratification isn't there yet. It's not fully formed. They don't have discipline yet. So they do silly things like fall in love with some girl and give the girl all the money so she can get her car fixed. Like, well, I'm talking about a stupid kid I knew by the name of Boyce Watkins who literally did that. And my grandma literally wanted to come to my house and murder me in my sleep, but I was in love, right? That was the love of my life, or so I thought at the age of 17. So I don't believe in giving children control of resources until they're old enough. 25 to 30 is a time to start sprinkling that money on them. So you got the newborn baby. My brother had a baby this week. We put money into the baby's account. That money's going to grow for the next 25 years. When he's between 25 and 30, we'll just start kind of sprinkling it on him. We won't even let him know how much it is. Like, we're going to slowly but surely evaluate and determine his maturity level, because I'm not going to give a whole lot of wealth to a crackhead or somebody who's going to go do stupid stuff with it. That's your money. You work for that. You got to protect that. If you can't protect that, then you're going to lose it. So I hope that answers your question. So, and by the way, our kids program is at blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. The URL's on the screen. That's blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. So feel free to join our Black Business School for Children. It's very good. It has a money-back guarantee, and your child actually gets a little bachelor's degree when they get done, or something like a bachelor's degree. They can put it on their wall. It really builds their self-esteem. It makes them interested in wealth. I've seen the transformation 1,000 times, so I know that it works. Thousands of kids are in the program. Okay, so the next question comes from Sherman Edmonds. Sherman says, what are your opinions on investing in the following companies? I see Netlist, Eyes Global, Clean Energy Holdings, and Eolium. I don't know anything about any of those companies, so I am very sorry, Sherman. I don't, there's thousands of companies out there, and my ability to know about any individual company is slim to none because it's just too many of them. But what I will say is, if you want to know about these companies and what analysts think, things like that, you can Google them, look them up, look up analyst ratings. Also on Robinhood, they'll tell you what the analysts are saying about that stock. So you can look the stock up on your Robinhood app. And that way you can kind of look and see what everybody else is saying about your stock. So you can make a decision as to whether or not you want to buy it. That way you're not, sort of hoping that I would know about that individual company, because there's just too many of them. I don't know about them all. Some of you were asking about Tilray earlier. Tilray is an interesting company because Tilray it's still my favorite stock. It's still one of my favorites. It's still my highest yielding stock that I've owned for the last few weeks. Tilray, though, has had an interesting experience, because what happened with Tilray, I started buying it maybe 8 or 9 or 10. That's when we started talking about it. Those of you who've been following me, you saw me talking about Tilray a long time ago. So Tilray has gone up, 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 up. And now that Tilray, and then when Tilray got around 30 something, it gained a lot of attention because cannabis was getting a lot of support from the Biden administration. A lot of people, Biden actually supports decriminalizing cannabis. Kamala supports legalizing cannabis. And remember, politicians don't say things by accident. Everything they say has a meaning. You just got to look for the meaning. So when anybody remember when Kamala went on the Breakfast Club and said she used to smoke weed with Biggie and Pac in college or something, or it was something ridiculous like that. I'm kidding. It was some Biggie and Pac and weed. But anyway, she said that because she was hinting that she's okay with cannabis consumption. Like, she thinks recreational, weed is fine, which is cool, right? But that says also that if you read the tea leaves, if you play chess on this, Biden is old. He probably won't survive his first term. So, and if he survives his first term, he won't survive a second. That means, guess who will be president if Biden is gone? Well, Kamala Harris. And a lot of senators have already said they want to legalize cannabis. They need the money. Your government is in serious financial trouble. Why would you pass up billions of dollars in potential revenue from taxing cannabis? So they're going to move from this sort of state by state piecemeal layout to something that's more comprehensive, broader, and federal. I want to be there when it happens. So I have bought interest in various mutual funds related to cannabis. Tilray, I've been into Tilray for a while. There's a couple others in there. I think Canopy Growth and stuff like that, although they haven't done as well as Tilray. And also with Tilray, though, there's a lot of volatility. That's why you got to be really careful, because Tilray actually gained the attention of the Reddit investors. The Reddit guys, as much as people want to say that the Reddit investors are like the little guys taking on the big guys, that narrative is false. They are doing pump and dumps, and they are screwing over people. When they're doing these pump and dumps, they're pushing the price up, and then they're selling before the price goes back down. If you're buying late, then you're getting screwed, because they've already got on the forum and said, okay, dudes, let's go ahead and sell. Let's go to the next target, right? So I would kind of be careful or avoid completely those stocks that they're doing the pump and dumps on. I'm not a fan of pump and dump, because people get hurt when there's a pump and dump. So that's what's happened with Tilray. Tilray got pumped all the way up to $72 a share. I sold options at $72 a share. So I made money. I was like, it's not going to stay this high. So I'm going to sell the call out. I'm going to sell the stock options, because everybody was buying these options. That's how the price was getting pushed up. So I was selling the options, because remember, for every buyer, there must be a seller. So basically, while they're doing this short squeeze, which I'll explain what a short squeeze is in a second, when they're doing the short squeeze, there's money to be made, but you have to strategically position yourself to do that. And the people losing money are not the hedge funds in New York or whatever. They understand markets. The people losing money are the people who are coming in too late. The regular investors who don't understand how the markets work, who can't, recognize when a stock is probably near its peak. And that's why I think that those pump and dumps you have to be really careful about. I would avoid them altogether if I were you. All right. Now, what is a short squeeze? Okay, here's what a short squeeze is. A short squeeze is basically, it works like this. Let's say that you have a company that that thinks the stock is going to go down. So what they'll do is they'll do a short on the stock. So they'll sell the stock now with a plan to buy it back later, right? As long as you buy it for less than what you sold it for, you make a profit. There's no rule saying you have to buy something before you sell it. You can actually do, you have what I call these financial time machines. The beauty of modern finance is it allows you to time travel. So this financial time machine allows you to actually sell first and then buy it back later. So you sell it first. You're hoping the price goes down so that you can sell it here, buy it here. You make a profit between these two. Well, a short squeeze is when somebody says, okay, wait, oh, snap. Okay, they're over there trying to short this stock. So we're going to squeeze them. We're going to screw them. So what they'll do is they'll engage in their own form of price manipulation, either by increasing demand for the stock or buying a ton of the options and push the stock up. So the short seller is like, holy crap, the stock is going up. I'm losing money. Every dollar the stock price goes up, I'm losing money on my investment. So eventually they have to come in there and cover their short positions, right? So they'll come in there and they will start buying the stock back in order to cover their short position to minimize the losses, stop the bleeding. But what that does is that actually pushes the price up even further, right? So ultimately, or people that are even selling the stock options have to buy a certain number of shares in order to hedge the short sale, right? When people sell stock options, they don't want to do what are called naked selling. They want to do covered calls. That's what you sell. That's all options terminology. Don't worry about that. But in order to balance it out, they have to buy a certain number of shares to maintain that balance, which increases the demand for the stock. So if everything else is equal, when you increase the demand for an asset, you're pumping the price up. So that's how a short squeeze works. So they were kicking their butt with the short squeeze. And so these companies were kind of in a tough spot. So anyway, let me move to the next question. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so the next question is from Fredia King. I'm going to write Fredia's name down because Fredia, I'm going to send you this video back. And those of you who want your questions answered directly each week, I do this every single Sunday. Go to the blackstockmarketprogram.com. And not only do I answer your question directly, whatever question you send, but also you have access to literally hundreds and hundreds of questions I've answered for people through the years. So if that interests you, feel free to take a look. And also there's what Dr. Boyce is buying, where each week I tell everybody what stocks I'm buying, stuff like that. So it helps if that's something you're interested in. Okay, so Fredia King says, should I be trading at the money, in the money, or out of the money options? And is trading out of the money say for instance, stock is trading at 14 and I agreed to a strike price of 20, a year expiration. As a new investor, should I be trading more conservatively at the money at $14 or in the money? Well, it depends on whether you're buying or selling, Fredia, so I don't know the scope of your trade. If you're talking about buying options, a lot of people buy out of the money stock options because it can allow for kind of a quick profit if everything works out. So basically what you're doing is you're kind of taking a bet. You're taking a bet that between now and the expiration date, that the price of the stock is going to go up. It doesn't actually have to necessarily hit what they call the strike price, but as it moves toward the strike price, your option value actually goes up. So there are a lot of people that flip their money fast with stock options by buying options. But you got to be careful with stock options because a lot of people get body slammed with stock options because stock options are extremely risky. And so if you're buying out of the money stock options, then what you're doing is basically you're putting money on the line and you're betting that the stock price will go up. So if the stock price goes down, you'll lose value on your option. And if you wait till the expiration date, you may lose everything. So I'm not going to tell you what to do or what not to do, but I am going to tell you that there's the allure of stock options is that stock options allow you to, if you're lucky, make these really big flips and make a ton of money. And it works really well when the market's going up. The problem is that when the market's going down, it doesn't work so well. So buying lots of stock options isn't investing. It's trading, it's speculation, it's gambling, if you want to call it that. And that's what you see a lot of guys doing, say on the Reddit forums and stuff like that. That's not really investing. That's actually trading and gambling, speculation. Anybody can speculate. Anybody can toss a bet. Investing is more of a long-term thing. So it's like the difference between having sex and making a baby, right? Sex is fun, sex is exciting, but having sex doesn't make you a parent. And so those are two. So you want to make sure you always know the difference. And also remember with options, for every buy there can be a sell, right? There must be a sell. So I don't buy options that much. I sell them though. I love to sell options because what happens is instead of being the gambler, you get to be the house. So I'll take the house bet. I'm like, hey, if you want to gamble with your money, pay me. I'll let you gamble with my stock. We'll make a bet. And if the bet wins for you, then fine. You can own my stock, but I'm going to get paid regardless. I'm making my money regardless. I get paid when you buy the option from me, and I get paid if the stock price hits the strike because I own a piece of that, right? But you can have the rest. Like you can, do whatever. So I would encourage you to sort of, if you're going to learn options, learn how to use them on all sides of the trade, not just one simple, I'm going to buy a stock option or whatever kind of thing, because a lot of people go broke that way. The Stock Options Masterclass, that's the URL on the screen, stockoptionsmasterclass.com. If you'd like to jump into our masterclass, it's really good. I haven't done a live masterclass in a while, but the recording of the last one I did is right there, and a lot of people like it, so feel free to take a look. Okay, next. Okay, let me see here. Okay, let me make sure Fredia gets her answer. So, okay. All right, so next question. Okay, Kojo. I think I already answered your question, Kojo. So I'm going to delete Kojo's question. Okay, so the next one is from Charles Davis. Okay, so Charles Davis. All right, so Charles would like to know, if I use Webull, the Webull app, I want to implement the $5 a day program. I buy stocks every chance I get, but I'm not clear on where and how to put that money in the market. To achieve those results from your $5 a day book, it sounds like a silly question. Please walk me through. Thanks, Dr. Boyce. Okay, so the $5 a day investing plan was something I put together because there were too many people who believe Black people are destined to be mediocre and broke. And so because they would fight with me on the internet and tell me that it's impossible for Black people to build wealth, I created the $5 a day investing plan for all the poor, pathetic people that have no self-esteem, who don't believe Black people can do anything. I believe Black people personally I believe we have superpowers. I believe we can do anything we put our minds to, but I understand not everybody is there. So if you go to theallblackagenda.com, theallblackagenda.com, you'll find the $5 a day investing plan, which is really, really good because it lays out a very simple way that any of you can build any amount of wealth that you want. And so basically, it really comes down to having a consistent amount of money that you're consistently putting into the stock market in a diversified way. If you do that consistently over any 20, 30-year period in American history, any person who did that, even if it's a small amount, like $30 a week, $40 a week, less money than a lot of people spend on clothes, shoes, groceries, Air Jordans, whatever, fast food, whatever the number is, then you would actually be in the top maybe 30% of all Americans, because most Americans to this point haven't really even participated in the stock market. So the big Black Wealth Plan that I would like to see is for Black people to actually lead the nation in stock market participation, also in entrepreneurship, and also in real estate ownership if we can. Real estate ownership will take some time because you need capital in order to do that. But I think with stock market investing, I think that we can really make a move on that very quickly, and I think it'll make a difference in your life. So if you want to go to the allblackagenda.com, the plan is there. I explain it. And basically it comes down to having some sort of direct deposit that's set up every single week that allows your stock portfolio to grow. And that puts you in a position of becoming what David Bach refers to as an automatic millionaire. Automatic millionaire, these are millions of people, hundreds of thousands anyway, that basically are regular people. They drive pickup trucks. They're just regular people like you and I, but they secretly become millionaires by investing consistently over time, and they use time in their favor. So go be an automatic millionaire. Fast money doesn't work. Slow money usually does. In fact, it's really funny. I was on Twitter the other day arguing with some people when I told them that most rappers I know end up broke, and they were literally trying to argue against me. They were using examples like Drake. And I'm like, really? You think most rappers end up like Drake? Are you serious? Like, you're really that delusional that you really think that most Black rappers end up like Drake? Like, do you understand Drake is 1 in a million? Are you kidding me right now? Like, that's your plan? Like, that's your financial plan, is I'm going to be the next Drake? So clearly this is not a conversation we're going to have, because I'm just going to make you mad because some people just get mad when you give them reality. So it's the slow money that works the best, not the fast money. Fast money only happens if you get lucky. Slow money comes if you're smart. So I'd rather be smart than lucky any day of the week. Okay, so I'm going to back out for now. I hope that this helps you. I hope this conversation benefited you in some meaningful way. If you'd like a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, feel free to go to allblackeconomics.com. That's allblackeconomics.com. Also, if you want to take a look at some of the links. I know somebody said that there's a lot of URLs that I have, and I get confused. And I agree. I'm a very confusing person. I'm a very weird man. I know this. I accept this. I embrace this. So if you want to see a bunch of URLs, try going to the allblackagenda.com or boycewatkins.com. There's stuff there. So I have stuff kind of everywhere. And so I just want to help you, and I want to see you do well. So God bless you. Thanks for listening. It was a lot of fun, and I'll see you guys soon.